Piet Botha takes us through his runners for Monday this morning, and looking forward to them as there's a good sort in Montien. Piet, let's start with the race one. You've got two runners. First, them Easy Money with Jabu up.
Yeah, Easy Money's a bit of a difficult filly. She's a little bit hot and you know, so I think her second run is probably best ignored. It's not quite her form. Her first run, I think she pretty much just ran on adrenaline and showed her potential, whereas her second run she was out in the open and just ran all over the show, and it didn't go so well. I think being drawn on the inside, now she's going to be a much better filly. She can concentrate with all the horses around her and hopefully give off her best. She's working very well, and I am expecting her to run a very good race.
Impressive Nessie. She's had the one run. Are you expecting her to round a race off better this time?
Yeah, I think she should run better. I think the occasion on her first run was just too big for her. It was very, very windy that day and flags all blowing around and she was very unsettled. So hopefully she's going to be a little bit more settled now. I do feel that she's probably a nicer horse out of the two and will go further, but mentally she's still very immature and she needs the experience, and I'm really just hoping that things go well for her this time round and she can run a good honest race, because I know she's got the ability, but my honest feel is that she's just not quite ready to perform at her best just yet. I think she needs a bit more experience still.
Race 2, you've got Ponte Vecchio, Keenan up, a great third last time.
Yeah, we tried something a little bit differently with her last time and it worked, and I was quite happy about that. A little bit annoyed about the conditions of this race. You know, I thought that the maiden special weights was there to help the weaker maidens, and now she's coming in top weight level weights with the colts and not getting any sex allowance, which is a little bit frustrating for me, but it is what it is. She's very well, I believe, and I believe that she'll run a very big race. But on the turnaround in weights, it's obviously going to be very, very hard to beat a horse of, Brett, the one that Brett Crawford's got in the race. I mean, they met last time and we narrowly beat her last time, and now we've got to give her weight. So it's going to be tough to beat that, especially considering that filly would have made natural improvement from her first run. But in saying that, I do feel that Ponte Vecchio is the type of filly that you got to probably include in all your bets.
Race 5, Montien. You've always touted him as a lovely sort. He's got a nice lightweight on his back too. Yeah,
I hope Jabu can do the weight comfortably. Look, I believe that he's an above-average horse, and he wasn't quite ready for his first two starts, and I don't think he's done much wrong in his last two starts. So I think he's a very, very big runner. He's very well within himself. This is his first run. After the yard went through a bit of a. We had a bit of a problem in the yard, but looking at him, he looks bright, and his work has been good, and I believe he's going to be the horse to beat in the race. In saying that, this is a bit of a step up for him. He's meeting some tough older oppositions here, so it's not going to be easy for him, but I'm expecting him to be right there in the finish.
Race 8, Swift Action, very consistent, honest type of horse.
Yeah, I think his last 8 runs or so, he hasn't missed the placing, so hopefully he can keep that up. Another one I think is just in a very good space at the moment, and if he can reproduce his last run, he's a massive runner. There are some strong opposition here. I think Veldschooner is going to be a hard horse to beat. There are one or two others in that race as well, but another horse that you can't really leave out of any of your bets.
And Piet, just briefly, just wanted to touch on, you scratched a whole bunch of your horses' abnormal blood count. How's the yard bounce back?
Yeah, so we took blood on a whole lot of horses, and every single one of them came back with a bad blood count. So we just assumed that it was going through the whole yard, and so we took everything out of work for a while and started treating all the horses and that. And I think at the moment we're sitting with about 80% of them are back to where they were before that happened. We've got a handful that are not quite right yet, but we're getting there, and I think Monday is going to be a good indicator on where we are, because I think we're sending out some nice runners on Monday, and if they are back to where they were, then we're going to be involved in the placings and that'll be nice, because it's a good guy, and if they don't run so well, then maybe we've got to relook at things. But from what I can see, just going by the eye and on the blood test that we've taken again afterwards, it seems like we're back to where we were.
Well, all the best. Hope they run accordingly.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. Hoping that Piet Botha's yards bounce back to their best. A lovely type of runners, and look forward to them.